In the news tonight, University of Uyo holds 112th inaugural lecture. Stakeholders advocate protection of national infrastructure and assets. Plus, Nigerian Television Authority strengthens synergy with Nigerian Air Force. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at 7. My name is Dianime Uko. This broadcast is reaching you live on StarTimes channel 103 and on our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. Do all to follow and engage with us there. We bring you the news in detail. Policymakers and scientists need to recognize and harness benefits of nuclear science through research funding, as well as encourage partnerships and collaborations between nuclear physics, material science, engineering, and artificial intelligence. Professor Anyeswa Esiet made the submission at the 112th inaugural lecture of the University of Uyo. Edidion Iba reports.
The 12th inaugural lecturer of the University of Uyo, Professor Anyeswa Esiet, is a professor of nuclear physics. His lecture topic, The Power of Atomic Nucleus, Actions and Reactions, highlights the fundamental importance of the atomic nucleus, which he stresses when properly harnessed, leads to further breakthrough in energy productions, medicine, technology, and agriculture. Professor Esiet argued that declining interest and enrollment by students, access to experimental facilities, misinformation, and misrepresentation of nuclear science in media and politics affects public trust and support.
For Nigeria to achieve technological strength, the country must embrace nuclear power for reliable electricity generation. Nuclear power electricity is beneficial for Nigeria.
The inaugural lecturer recommends the establishment of more research centers and providing access to nuclear experiments while mitigating its risks through ethical and informed use as some of the ways that the society will benefit from nuclear physics.
The government, universities and private industry should allocate more funding to nuclear research. Yes. They should establish more shared access research center and provide more remote access to nuclear experiment through virtual lab and simulations to improve access to nuclear research for students and researchers.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, Professor Njaudo Ndayo, commends Professor Anyeswa Esiet for his well-researched lecture, as he has contributed immensely to knowledge and his work will be used for reference purposes. The inaugural lecturer was presented with souvenirs. In Uyo, Edidion Iba, NTA News.
Let's now head to the
State Governor.
And we know the role of vegetable in diet and in nutrition and in health. Even when someone is ill and you go to the hospital, they first say, have you eaten before they give you what? Medication. Because the food determines how your body does what functions. So that's why farmers are very important. And food is number one in human development. So we're celebrating a compassionate governor. We're celebrating an agricultural friendly governor. A governor that lifts people from where they are to greater heights. We're celebrating a governor that says we should all go back to the farm.
He has chosen to celebrate His Excellency's birthday with her constituency, the farmers. This time around, she has chosen to take on food production by coming close to the producers of the vegetable with which we used to cook.
Moved by this gesture, the farmers, while praying for God's continuous blessings upon the governor and his family, reassured of their determination for increased yield.
We recognize your role in championing one of the Governor Umoino's vision, being a farmer-friendly and entrepreneurial-driven leader. His passion for agriculture as a tool for sustainable development inspires our desire to forge strong collaborations with your ministry.
But when we process our raw materials, we make more money, employ more labor, more empowerment for the rural women and farmers.
The event features symbolic presentation of input which includes fertilizer, pumpkin seedlings, among others, an inspection tour of some made in Akwa Ibom products. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Let's take our first commercial on the news tonight. When we return, more stories will come. Please stay.
Water is life. Aqua Cardinali Water provides the highest quality drinking water. Aqua Cardinali Water is owned by the Catholic Diocese of Uyo, produced and packaged by Cadisen Enterprises Nigeria. It is available in 19 liters dispenser jar, 60 cl sachet, 50 cl and 75 cl table water. Visit Aqua Cardinali Water at number 34 Dominic Utuk Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Drink Aqua Cardinali Water, certified by NAFDAC and Standard Organization of Nigeria. Call 0903-288-2958. Aqua Cardinali Water. Drink pure. Stay healthy.
Rose Bay Hotel. Come, feel the luxury of our contemporary hotel. We offer lodging and accommodation. Stay at our deluxe executive and luxury suite for your comfort. Experience extravagant dining and delicious meals by expert chef. Lounge at our exquisite VIP bar. Enjoy 24 hours power supply with free Wi-Fi services. Our security system is top-notch to ensure your safety. Ample parking space and laundry services available. The ambience is serene to make your stay memorable. We are located at number 1 Julius Baji Road off House of Assembly Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. For reservations, call 070-650-41139. Roseville Hotel, hospitality at its best.
You're welcome back to the news. The Nigerian Television Authority will strengthen existing synergy through adequate projection of the Nigerian Air Force's activities. This was disclosed when the Executive Director News, Ayo Adewuyi, hosted the Director of Public Relations and Information Headquarters, Nigerian Air Force, at the NTA headquarters in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
The Nigerian Air Force had long soared above the headlines and visible in the skies, while their mission grew in scale and significance from counter-terrorism to disaster relief and public awareness. The force needed a strong voice on the ground to match its strength in the air. Hence, this visit by the Director of Public Relations and Information to cement the already existing relationship between the Nigerian Air Force and the Nigerian Television Authority.
The battle space has changed. It's much more than just bombs and bullets. Now we're talking about winning hearts and minds, about building trust. And this is in line with the 61st anniversary theme that the Nigerian Force is projecting, which is about optimizing civil-military relations.
The Nigerian Television Authority, which exudes professionalism and accuracy, as a national broadcaster, reiterates its commitment to world peace and national development in line with its vision and mission.
We understand the importance of the armed forces and the need for us to synergize in achieving the security that we all desire in Nigeria. That is why, like I said, we have to attach correspondence to each of the arms of the armed forces because of the importance. So I hope we will continue the relationship and strengthen the
NTA says it will continue to be at the front line of objectivity, projecting the activities of the armed forces as they continue to protect Nigeria's territorial integrity. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
In this next report, the youth and the society in general are being sensitized on the need to protect natural and national infrastructure and assets which are actually meant for the citizenry. This is at the Youth, Civil Societies and Stakeholders Summit, organized at the instance of the National Council for Civil Society Organizations in collaboration with the Vision 1 Leadership Development Initiative. They are being urged to curb the destruction and vandalism of power, telecom, oil, gas, and other critical natural infrastructure and assets in the country. Speakers here stress the need for stiffer penalties for defaulters.
This investment government has put in our community, we must safeguard it against vandalism.
The activities of saboteurs has serious negative consequences on our economy, thus affecting our nation's growth and development. In order to eradicate these problems, we need collaboration and coordination, working together as a team of government agencies, security forces, and other stakeholders.
It is our own responsibility to inform the security agencies or the law enforcement agencies and give them enabling information that is proactive enough so as to nip this challenge in the bud.
The armed forces, paramilitary and other security agencies were commended for efforts at securing the nation's facilities, but the organizers say actionable proposals must be taken to tackle the worsening destruction of national assets. You're watching the news on NTA Channel 12. We will take another commercial break. When we return, more stories will come your way. Please stay.
Dito kanyan, isakiri yakinemen mubunumpo mendo tamsitu kukara state nyan ye ake me ntonko kukara aku fakuti musiarifia koro ake menangandu bege ideme mo adu keri nambru fakuti mo kebenduse NTA Channel 12 yo etumo ekoto nemenyan keri namami adi daritie kwa weneze kenkarika amamia itiaba abu yoke minute erap meruap ndobiye yo kutemon simbego di yakineme Kebu kubok momobok mom ase trupa nemenyan mbagi nengem po ibuno iyem kot irong nyan.
Welcome to Prisma International Hotels, located at number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afarafort, Overback Road, Uyu. When it comes to hospitality industry, nothing compares with comfort, exquisite services, and top-of-the-world security. These are what make Prisma Hotels a household name. At Prisma Hotels, you are assured of lavishly furnished, spacious rooms and suites with complimentary breakfast, top-class blue sea swimming pool, VIP and poolside bars, as well as restaurant where African and continental are served at pocket-friendly rates. These are not all. There is high-speed internet service, closed circuit television, spacious car park, 24-hour power and water supply, sparkle laundry and dry cleaning services, and above all, combat-ready security operatives. So whenever you are in Uyo or you are a resident in Uyo, capital city of Akwa Ibom State, make Prisma Hotels number 5. Let's call 081-3166-6660 or 0915-509-9989. Prisma International Hotels, hospitality par excellence.
Welcome back. Let's now head to the legislature, where stakeholders in the fight against corruption in Nigeria are calling for an interagency collaboration and a strict adherence to ethics guiding the conduct of anti-graft agencies. Kelvin Samuel reports that this was at the start of a 3-day national anti-corruption conference on the theme fostering collaboration in enhancing transparency within ministries, departments and agencies.
Driven by the desire to fight corruption in all government ministries, departments and agencies, this conference, organized by the House of Representatives Committee on Anti-Corruption, is discussing and profiling implementable solutions towards the fight against corruption.
Single entity think your agency can tackle the prevalent nature of corruption alone. It calls for the synergy between the government agencies, civil society, the private sector, and the citizenry to create a cohesive strategy that places transparency at the forefront of our public administration.
Keynote speakers outlined some ways through which corruption can be tackled, to include digital transformation and e-governance, as well as review and strengthening of anti-corruption laws, among others.
I think we should change the acquisitorial system to inquisitorial system, whereby if we get a criminal, we should ask him, tell us the reason why we should not convict you for living on seditious life, rather than asking us to establish proof beyond reasonable doubt as to how that one is guilty.
There is a saying that when you gaze long enough into the abyss will gaze back at you. Corruption is endemic, and that is why at all times we must wear the cloak of ethical values and transparency in order to win the war.
Nigeria, like many developing nations, has made strides in strengthening governance. However, systemic corruption, opaque decision-making processes, and weak institutional checks continue to hinder our growth.
The conference continues till Thursday, when a communique is expected. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has considered a motion to establish land allocation advisory committees in the 31 local government areas of the state to inspect, verify, register lands in rural areas, as well as grant customary rights of occupancy to citizens. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly correspondent Nsikak Okun reports that the motion was presented by the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, who also represents Itu State Constituency, Kufri Abasi Edidem.
The motion is in pursuant to Order 3, Rule 2 of the Standing Order of the House. The Deputy Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Kufri Abasi Edidem, notified the House of the need to establish a land allocation advisory committee to regulate land occupancy in the local communities, as it will help facilitate the acquisition of loans and other benefits.
Mandate the local government council chairman and the land allocation advisory committee, when inaugurated, to issue customary right of occupancy to interested persons within their respective domain, so they can use that to access loans from agricultural bank. Mr. Speaker, here is the question, and so.
Other lawmakers were of the opinion that, in accordance to the provision of the 1997 Land Use Act, the state governor should consider the motion.
I want to plead that to empower the government to do what he has to do, this act should be domesticated to give the government the power to make it law. Because, if it happens, it's not going to investigate to confirm if they've domesticated their own laws.
This motion is to tell the government to use its powers as given to it by the Constitution of Nigeria by this Land Use Act to allow a movement by this committee, this sector, to give people in the grassroots opportunity to acquire occupancy in their land, which they can present to bank and assess loan to help in their agricultural purposes, to help give our people the needed food to eat.
The governor signed that act. He will empower whatever document bringing out from LG, the bank will accept it because the act is already in place.
The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemotong, after extensive deliberations, directed the Clerk of the House, Nsikarobo Oro, to communicate the resolution to the Governor for onward action.
Members, with the leave of this House, the prayers and the motion will be sent to His Excellency the Governor for him to call on the local government chairman to reactivate the land allocation advisory committees in different local governments.
Nsikak Okon, NTN.
For more trending stories in the world of sports, let's now join Gift George on Sports Updates. Bring you sports updates. It's a wrap on the news this evening. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dianime Uko. Up next is the news in Ibibio translation. Good evening.
Ufongwen tai fiogo yetu bukpem kwa mo yeke yogo kan ikeke medobeba mi po wo iso wo ebo yak mono wo ekpeme mempo seni ekidadnyen ufogo tomo sone to 20 eso edida na kerie mon ekoto Nigerian Air Force manena motom kwa ebo mi komisi kamili mkibibyo nkere basenya ekpeyon yako memboxini Ufogo to bese mpo ebanga ndutom utoyin wan ke setemi enongo metoyin wan ke kwaibom mpoyin wan mbok anamedi yongo keri na mami asuko do ridara ye kamba dai wuru ka setemi etu moeno kusoro iswa emanamo ame yogo kiswa ta yekir yakikup oyombo ikamba dai wuru ka setemi etu moeno amata tang abo yak awundu moke ame yemme ridara yimo Usara iswa manamo ayeke tammeke yageben sekpi noimo asalwam eno menditokpa mebekpa nko yemono wo simeni ogwam ntakado asan yak ufogo tome segum kwe banga ndutom utoywan kestetemi eben edi dara yemme toywan kedi nongo ammo mfriwan ndenebo ammo yageske ka kaiso esen ekamada nguruka stetemi Itu moeno kekam. Rumono wekeri yago fon. Itu wari namami. Ema eko bine mesretieti. Enyo ebong akamedidion. Eno ekambada iwuruka stetemi. Keri namami. Mempo seke nongo. Akedo fertilizer. Ubong. Nkoro ye mempo iwangfen. Mi kufakutume. Kufakutume bombet stetemi. Enam lutum. Adime kufa komiti. Ameriki sempo. Ibanga. Uno mono wisong. Ye mempo mfen. Ke frefren koka edab medu ke stetemi ke na medion mi ke mbono mbo me kratite ya ikubo yombo
ko wodo wodi ana tane ko forme state nyene do nyonyo da no ko kara itu ku forme state nyen ete ku fra basi edidem aketanga anyama bo kendo tmenyeso ketanga ba odebo ke akwana okara state me no uyo mbak esiak ndotum committee enye diyo kete Land Allocation Advisory Committee ke akpa foneti etinyo wambono wo eni kisong ke mesridon adika mesong mo namdo bege mana nkudmbo kisong mo ke won ndomonteked idi kana di bere song mo namdo dio me bombet ku forbe state nyine ke soko ke ne tare kodo e maibo ke mbere baba eke epopo ebanga misong ke iswa 1978 ke akpena akamukara state nyina no nyemme mba to konde krebu ke committee etangado ke nye ke fun menko kara sibanga ke state temi ke ko tata ko ku forbe state nyine teude moton aketanga ke ma ke neme anyan neme ke tuko committee soketanga bangado anyama bu ya Clark anam ya akamukara state nyen adio ngobanga se igido biere mo ke tuko ndutum neme anyebu ya sia committee Eko Land Allocation Advisory Committee ke state temi kuyo nsika kono kombu NTA
kangin tembongin kibibi wa 3 room gubiyo yem sosongo ke mkwangotong nyang miribasi ya ikbeyon asere